everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new then hi, my name is Caitlin, welcome, and today I'm updating my 101 pans project pan. So in this project I am trying to get 101 eyeshadow pans in my collection since I started counting this. I do have more pans than this. They were hit before I started counting for this project. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So we have got pans 25 to 32 to talk about today. We have a grand total in my collection as a whole of 61 eyeshadow pans, but as I said, we're only counting up to 32 because that's when I started counting. We're doing this very slow and steady. I'm not making as good a progress as I hoped I would, but we're getting there slowly. If you like this look that I'm rocking today, definitely tune into my channel on Friday. I'm doing a build your own palette and this is the look that I do. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe. But if you're not interested in that, well, subscribe anyway, because I do so many project pans, shop my stashes, get ready with me's, all that really fun stuff. I love bright, colourful makeup, as you can tell, and it's just a fun time here, so stick around. Okay, so let's get in with the shiny pans. This is so satisfying and so excited. So we are starting with pan number 25, and it comes from my Sunset Horizons palette from Beauty Bay. And number 25 is the shade Oasis, which is this bright, beautiful blue. It's very similar to what I have on my eyes today, but this isn't a duochrome. This is just a beautiful metallic shimmery blue. This took like 3 uses to hit pan in. This was in a Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and yeah, it was surprising. 3 uses and we hit pan on it. This palette is very easy to hit pan on. The shimmers are very soft. The mattes are very powdery, so yeah, I don't have much of an issue hitting pan in this palette. Oasis is probably my second favourite shade. My most favourite is this. So yeah, maybe we can get some more good use out of this palette in the future, make it look a little bit more loved. It is a little neglected in my collection, but who knows. Pan number 26 comes from this bad boy. This is the Carnival XL Pro. It is taking up the whole screen. And the shade we hit pan on is The Hype, which is this green shade here. I just love this palette. Every single time I pull this palette out to talk about it, I always say I just love it so much. I need to reach for it more because it has been a little bit neglected this year, but we have 4 pans in it now. I'm thinking of maybe making this a focus palette for 2023, trying to hit pan on more of the shades because it does deserve to look a lot more love than it is. There are dips in so many of the shades. Maybe I'm wanting to get a lot more pans in this. But yeah, this is pan number 26 from the Carnival, and that is The Hype. It's only a tiny pan, but pan nonetheless. And that wasn't in a project, that was just natural use that I hit pan on that, which is always the most satisfying to hit pan on when you're just not even working on it. Pan at number 27 comes from my e.l.f. Truffles palette. Little sneak peek for this. This is the progress that we've made halfway through the month, so definitely stay tuned to see how I do with an extra few weeks. I always update this project about, I think it's like the second video every month, so stick around because there's going to be so much more progress on this. But the shade we're talking about is this first shade here. It is like a shimmery gunmetal silver shade. It did actually crumble, so it looks a lot more love than it actually is because I did lose quite a bit of product. But that is this shade. This is my least favourite shade in this palette. I don't know. This would do me very well, but I've hit pan on it though. I'm not complaining. Pan number 28 is back to the Sunset Horizons palette, and it was the shade Dusk, which is this bright kind of pastel pink up here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the pan, because the shade is so light and the pan is very small, but I'm just like moving it around. Hopefully you can see it somewhere, I don't know. But this shade was so powdery. This only took me 6 uses to hit pan on in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. mad. I was really nervous to roll this shade in because if you know me, you'll know I'm not a big fan of pink eyeshadow. So when I rolled this in, I was like, no, I'm gonna have to use a pink like 20 times. I'm gonna have to do pink looks every day. But yeah, it took me 6 uses to hit pan. So yeah, not too bad. This again was such a powdery shade, it was kind of ridiculous. So I mean, I'm not complaining too much because I wasn't stuck with a pink for too long, so whatever. Pan at number 29 was another one from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and that comes from the Just My Luck palette. Yep, I thought I said the wrong name. I didn't. It is the Just My Luck. That is the shade Mary Jane. We hit pan on this. I think this took about 17 uses. This palette is definitely my least used Colourpop palette. I'm hoping you can see the pan there, this middle shade. Yeah, it's definitely my least used Colourpop palette, I think, apart from the It's My Pleasure. I don't know. I didn't fact check, so I may be a big fat liar, but I just feel like I don't reach for this one too much, but I completely fell in love with this shade, Mary Jane. It is the most beautiful inner corner pop. It goes with blues, it goes with neutrals, it just goes with everything. It's so beautiful. It's like this like yellowy chartreusey green. It is incredible. I absolutely loved working on this, and yeah, we managed to hit pan on a Colourpop shade, which is crazy because they take so long to use up. Next was a veteran. She's a veteran, okay? She needs to retire, but she's still going, and this is what my palette looks like. This was my Pan That palette last year, so she's beaten and bruised. I do want to finish it one day, but for now I'm just kind of putting it in different projects, trying to hit pan on all the shades and use some of the shades up. But the shade we're talking about is Smokey Bronze, which is this dark gold kind of shade. This was in my This Is Fantasy project pan. We hit pan on it. I only have 2 more shades to hit pan on. That's crazy. I want to finish it, I really do. I don't think it's going to be a Pan That palette next year. I'm thinking of panning my Modern Renaissance next year, but I don't know, I'm torn between just like finishing this and finishing the Modern Renaissance because it's my oldest palette. The Modern Renaissance is old, she's starting to get a little bit worse for wear. But I also want to finish this. I don't know, I'm in 2 minds. Tell me what you think down below. Should I do this or this next year? But yeah, Smokey Bronze was pan number 30 since we started counting. So satisfying. This palette just makes me so happy. Just looking at this palette. I did that. Well done me, pat on the back. Speaking of the Modern Renaissance palette, that is shade number 31. Pan number 31. This was in a Pan Those Eyeshadows rotation, and it was the shade Burnt Orange. There we go. You can see that pan there. This took 9 uses, I think. It was 9 or 11. I'm not sure. It was one or the other. Really, really powdery. Really, really easy to use. I can see rust in the pan. I can also see rust in Vermeer, which I've been kind of dabbling in very casually. And there is some rust in Tempera as well. That is a really big issue that I see a lot of people struggle with the Modern Renaissance palette. I think other ABH palettes as well. And that kind of makes me want to use it up even more. I just don't like the rust. I don't like it. But I am working on Raw Sienna in my Pan Those Eyeshadows right now. As of right now, when I'm filming this, I haven't even touched it, so good start. But yeah, this rust is really unfortunate. But that is pan number 31. And finally, pan number 32 comes from my Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. This does not look loved enough. But the shade is this shade Potion, and for some reason I hit pan right in the corner. I never do that. I always dig my brush or my finger in the middle, but for some reason I just decided to mix it up a little bit and go in the corner. So yeah, this is the shade Potion. It is like a blue with a hint of purple to it as well. It's so beautiful. It did crease on me though. These Beauty Bay shimmers, some of them do crease on me, which isn't great. So yeah, that is where we are up to in my 101 pans project pan. 32 shades. We are nowhere near the finish line, but as I said, slow and steady, it's going to take a long time. So that is it for this video today, guys. As I said, if you want to see how I did this beautiful look, stay tuned. On Friday is my build your own palette. You really don't want to miss that. But in the meantime, if you did like this video, please like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I will be doing updates whenever I have about 8 pans to show you. It's normally the 8 mark that I do an update. Let me know what the last eyeshadow that you hit pan on was. I would really want to know. I love seeing people's panning progress. Have an incredible day, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!